a mental image of these phenomena, and those are being forced on you by your past karma. And if you've collected certain pure karmas, or I don't know, pure and impure is a good word, that's what Rinpoche used to always use, correct karmas, you will see something that is not a boiling, vat. In hell it'd be some kind of horrible torment. It wouldn't just be a cup of coffee, which is what it is for me. If it's good coffee, it might be an okay, impure. The fact that it may cause. We'll see whether it's a good karma or bad karma, how it comes out the other way. But that's the whole point to religious practice. If you can figure out a way to radically transform this life, you don't have to, like the tantric view is, you don't have to grow old and suffer and die. Right now is the way we understand reality, the tendency to see both yourself and all your external phenomenon around you, everything, your whole world around you is self-existent. That's a one-way ticket to death. Death and suffering. If you, with wisdom, they often say in scriptures, if you clear the cataract of ignorance from with your wisdom eye, you don't have to die, essentially, because death itself lacks inherent existence. Death, as we see it, is a product of impure past karma. It's not if death had an inherent existence, there'd be no use for practicing Dharma. Nothing would change. That would be the end of it. That'd be the end of it all. There would be that life. Well, actually, life wouldn't you would not see the appearance of life in the death. It would hold an essence. And that's the warning of not teaching emptiness to certain people who are not ready, because they'll immediately go to non-existence and think that, do bad things in this life because there's no future existence. Which would, the Lord Buddha, through half of his teaching career, taught about karma, through half of his teaching and morality, and through half of his teaching career taught about emptiness. He wouldn't have taught about those two fundamental concepts, which are considered to be like two wings of a bird to get you to enlightenment, unless it was vital to achieving enlightenment. And some Buddhist schools fall into the extreme of they believe that there's no reason for you to practice morality. That karma doesn't function. I've recently on the internet, but that's not saying much, found Buddhists who don't accept karma. And that's just, or I'm not sure I found the ones that don't accept emptiness. They all seem to think emptiness is very sexy. But I found a lot of Buddhists that don't accept karma. It's one of the fundamental views. And Shakyamuni Buddha said, and you'll have to trust me on that karma thing. Until right before you're a Buddha. That one is a tough one to see. Emptiness is a piece of cake to seeing karma. It's such a subtle phenomenon that getting that in meditation is right before you become omniscient. So you're going to have to trust me on that one to keep these vows and to do these things. And but Lord Shakyamuni Buddha also said, take my teaching and test it as if you were buying gold or silver, cut it, burn it, as if you're buying something precious. Don't just take my words because I'm a nice guy, I have some cool treats, I have a nice car, or I'm speaking sweet words. Don't accept, or I have a good lineage. That's another one he also spoke of. Because, it's the best, word of mouth is good. He has a good family name. Not the reason. Test it. Test my teachings. the examination of fire and firewood refutes the self and the aggregates it appropriates in all 5 ways. Similarly, examine base, blankets, and so forth. It is perfectly explained that none of them exist in any of these 5 ways. Analyze all phenomenon in your meditations, whether they exist sequentially, simultaneously, whether they're caused, self-caused, caused by other, both, or causeless. If fire and firewood were self-caused, they'd be the same thing. There'd be no reason to distinguish. It's like actor and action. There'd be no use to distinguish them between fire and firewood. If they were self-caused, they would be the same essence. If they were caused from something else, it would be inherently different essences. They would have no connection whatsoever. All of these are trying to point you towards an understanding of the lack of inherent existence of all phenomena. The way that you think that you see things functioning around you aren't existing that way. He's pretty much saying here, examine things as I was just talking about the cup. The cup has a whole and parts. Examine the whole and parts. The colors, the shapes of the cup. How it exists. Is it permanent, impermanent? Do the parts of cup contrasted with other phenomenon, do they exist sequentially or simultaneously? Since one cannot happen before the others, and they cannot happen simultaneously, why would you ever think that birth, aging, and death truly exist? Like the cup, like all various phenomenon, birth, the first turning the wheel of the Dharma, where Shakyamuni Buddha said that all these phenomena, birth, aging, death, have inherent existence, is wrong. They did have that kind of inherent existence. They would never change. If they would never change, there'd be no use to practice Dharma. They function conventionally as mere appearances. They function. Something can be functioning. You can have a dream, a horrible dream, and it functions, but it's not real. Real in the sense that it's illusory or illusion like an illusion. It lacks inherent existence. Conventional reality or deceptive reality is a proper translation of it, according to my teachers, is that things are deceptive in one way. They appear to have this inherent existence. They appear to be flinging at you. The Svatantrika school says that this cup has a portion of it from its side. I forget the percentage, but 40% of cupness is coming from the cup. But then my karma, due to my mental image, is picking up a portion of that and saying, oh, cup. It's sort of like, I don't know, if there's an interface happening there. There's if I had some kind